I swear this isn't a revenge story. It's worse than that, because revenge needs anger. What happened to me started with silence, the kind of silence that makes people think you're weak. My name is Ariana Cole, and the night they laughed at me in that London penthouse, that was the exact moment they lost. I stood there holding a cheap glass of wine, wearing a dress I bought on clearance, surrounded by people who smelled like money and entitlement. They didn't even try to hide it. "Who invited her?" someone whispered. "She looks lost," another one smirked. My so-called best friend, Chloe Bennett, didn't defend me. She just tilted her head, smiled politely, and stepped away. That smile? Yeah, that one still burns. Then there was Ethan Royce, the man everyone wanted, the man who used to look at me like I was his whole world. That night, he looked straight through me, like I was nothing. I felt it, that quiet humiliation crawling under my skin. But I didn't cry. I didn't react. Because growing up taught me one thing: silence scares people more than tears. What none of them knew was this: I wasn't there by accident, and I wasn't as broke as I looked. Across the room, a man in a black tailored suit watched me carefully. He didn't laugh, he didn't whisper. He just tightened his jaw, like he recognized me. And when our eyes met, my heart skipped. Because I knew that look. I'd seen it before, years ago, on the day my life fell apart. Who was he, and why did he look like he'd been waiting for me? I wish I could say the worst part was the humiliation. It wasn't. The worst part was realizing the people closest to me were enjoying it. The next morning, my phone buzzed nonstop. Group chats, laughing emojis, inside jokes I wasn't part of. Chloe finally messaged, "Don't be so sensitive, Ari. You know how these people are." Yeah, I did. And that's when it hit me. She didn't just let it happen. She set it up. Later that day, I overheard something I was never meant to hear. Ethan's voice, Chloe's laugh. "She was useful while it lasted," Ethan said casually. "But let's be real, she doesn't belong in our world." Useful. That word shattered something inside me. I walked away before they saw me. My hands were shaking, but my face stone cold. Because I've learned something dangerous about pain. If you survive it quietly, people never see you coming. That night, I packed my bags. No goodbye texts, no dramatic exits, just one unanswered question burning in my chest. Why did that man at the party look like he knew my past? And why did my disappearance trigger a phone call I wasn't supposed to hear? Who made that call? And why did my name suddenly sound like a threat? I didn't disappear. I went quiet. There's a difference. 3 days after the penthouse humiliation, I was sitting alone in a tiny cafe near King's Cross. Hoodie up, no makeup, no expectations. Just trying to breathe. That's when the chair across from me scraped the floor. I didn't look up. I already knew. "You always sit with your back to the wall," a deep voice said. Even now. My heart stopped. No one knew that about me. I slowly lifted my eyes. Black suit, expensive watch, calm, controlled energy. The same man from the party. "Do I know you?" I asked, my voice steady, even though my pulse was losing it. He smiled, not friendly, not cruel, measured. "You did," he said, "before they took everything from you." I stood up instantly. "Wrong person." He didn't stop me. He just said one sentence that froze me mid-step. "Ariana Cole, born Ariana Hale, Manchester, age 9. The room tilted. Nobody knew my real surname. Nobody. I turned back slowly. "What do you want?" I whispered. He finally looked serious. "To return a debt," he said. "One your father paid with his life." My lungs burned. Because my father didn't die. He vanished. And only one kind of people makes someone vanish forever. Who was this man, and what did he really know about my father? His name was Julian Cross. He didn't introduce himself like a stranger. He said it like a warning. We sat there for over an hour. He talked, I barely breathed. Your father wasn't weak, Julian said calmly. He was dangerous and loyal, a rare combo. That's impossible, I snapped. He was just a warehouse manager. Julian's jaw tightened. That's what they told you. Then he slid his phone across the table. One photo. My father, younger, sharper, standing beside men in suits I recognized from the news. The kind of men you don't cross and live. He protected something that didn't belong to them, Julian continued. And when he refused to hand it over, they erased him. My hands trembled. Why are you telling me this now? I asked. Because, he said quietly, the people who destroyed your life think you're still harmless. He leaned in, voice dropping. And because Ethan Royce's family is connected to the same network that killed your father. That name hit harder than a slap. Everything made sense. The rejection, the setup, the betrayal. Julian stood up, adjusting his cufflinks. You have two choices, Ariana, he said. Stay invisible, or let me show you who you were born to be. He walked away before I could answer. On the table, where his phone had been, sat a business card. No title, no address, just 3 words printed in bold. When you're ready. What happens when a girl who survived silence finally decides to speak? I spent the next 2 weeks disappearing. Not physically, but mentally, spiritually. Every part of me that they thought they could break, I rebuilt it stronger. Julian taught me things they never wanted me to know. Not school stuff, not boring corporate lies. Real power, influence, secrets. By the end of the second week, I could see them everywhere. The way Chloe texted me, pretending to care. The way Ethan Royce's gaze lingered when he thought I wasn't looking. They didn't know it yet. I was no longer Ariana Cole, the girl they humiliated. I was Ariana Hale, the storm they should have feared. One night, as I walked past a private club in Soho, I saw Ethan with Chloe. Laughing, toasting, careless. I slowed my pace, letting them see me. A shadow in a designer coat, hoodie pulled low, but the aura, deadly, controlled. They turned, recognition hit, and fear, tiny, flickering, but real. Before I disappeared into the night, I whispered under my breath, "Enjoy your little world. It's about to end." Cliffhanger. Did they just notice me or realize too late that they underestimated me? Next morning, texts started coming in. Where did you vanish? Ari, seriously, call me. You okay? You scared us. Funny thing, I hadn't sent a single message. Word travels fast when someone like me reappears, and someone like Ethan Royce starts panicking when he thinks they've lost control. Julian didn't teach me just survival. He taught me strategy, patience, timing. By noon, Chloe called. Ari, look, let's meet, please. I didn't answer. I let her stew. By nightfall, Ethan Royce showed up at my temporary flat. Ari, come on, this isn't funny. He didn't even knock. He barged in expecting compliance. I locked the door behind him. The smile on my lips was calm, cold. Funny? I asked, voice soft but deadly. I don't do funny, Ethan. I do consequences. And just like that, the hunter became aware the girl they broke is no longer broken. Who will make the first mistake now? Chloe, Ethan, or someone they never even saw coming? The next night, the same penthouse. Same crowd, same smug faces. I walked in, not invisible. Not timid, not apologetic. I walked in like I owned the place. Chloe froze mid-laugh. Ethan's jaw went slack. Everyone felt it. The chill, the warning. I didn't say a word at first. I just let my eyes scan the room. Slowly, purposefully. And then I dropped the first hint of my return. A flash of a contract. A photo. A name. The room whispered. What? Funny thing, I said softly, smiling just enough to unsettle. You thought breaking me meant I'd disappear. Guess what? I didn't. I evolved. I didn't need to raise my voice. The fear? Immediate, real, infectious. Chloe's phone buzzed. Someone had sent her a message. You owe her. Big time. I didn't care if she understood. She would. Soon. Who sent that message and what's waiting for them next? The week that followed was chaos. Calls, emails, rumors, whispers behind closed doors. Ethan Royce tried to call me himself. Ari, we need to talk, now. I let it ring. Chloe? Disappeared. Texts unread. I knew she was scrambling, and scrambling badly. Julian? Still in the shadows, watching, guiding, smiling at the inevitable. By the end of the week, the first domino fell. One of Ethan's closest allies was exposed in a lie, a secret no one else knew, and suddenly, Ethan realized he had no control. I walked past him in the lobby, heels clicking. The look on his face, priceless. Panic flickered, fast, brief. The type of fear that comes from realizing you underestimated someone who's been underestimated for years. Ethan knows I'm coming for him, but does he know what I'm capable of? It started with whispers, little cracks, small leaks, things no one thought I'd notice. Chloe's text, Ari, please. I didn't answer. Not once. Ethan Royce? He tried to corner me at a gala. You don't understand, he said, panic in his eyes. I leaned in, calm, deadly. Oh, I understand perfectly. You just didn't understand me. And then the truth hit them like a thunderbolt. The man they thought was gone forever, my father, was alive. Julian hadn't told me everything, but enough. Enough to flip their world upside down. By midnight, every secret they hid, exposed. Every betrayal, out in the open. And the people who laughed at me, frozen. I walked through the chaos like a shadow. No screams, no tears, just control. Because I knew something they didn't. Silence is louder than rage, and patience tastes sweeter than revenge. Who will break first? Chloe, Ethan, or the entire empire they built on lies? The next morning, news spread. The Royce empire was shaken. Chloe's manipulations, public. Ethan's lies, exposed. I sat quietly in a cafe, watching it all unfold. No celebrations, no boasting, just satisfaction that comes from being underestimated and winning anyway. And then I felt it, Julian's presence behind me. It's not over yet, he said quietly. I smiled. It's already over for them, I replied. Ethan Royce tried calling again. Chloe, avoiding everyone. The empire, trembling. And me? I finally allowed myself to breathe, because for the first time in years, I wasn't running. I wasn't hiding. I was untouchable. They think this is the end, but karma has one last move, and I haven't even revealed my full hand. I wasn't the same girl they humiliated. I was Ariana Cole now, silent, calculated, dangerous. Ethan Royce tried one last time. He cornered me at his office, arrogance dripping. This ends now, Ari. You don't know what you're messing with. I smiled. Oh, I know exactly what I'm messing with, and you're about to find out. With one call, Julian activated a chain reaction. Accounts frozen, secrets leaked, emails exposed. Everyone who had underestimated me, collapsing. Chloe tried to beg. Ari, please don't do this. I shook my head. I don't beg, I finish. By the time the dust settled, Ethan's empire was in chaos. The people who laughed at me, gone. And the man who had always watched over me quietly, Julian, he nodded. You've become what you were always meant to be. Would they ever recover, or was this the final chapter for every... I stood on the balcony. London's skyline stretched out before me. The girl who walked into that penthouse months ago, dead. I wasn't loud, I wasn't violent, I let silence do the talking, let patience do the revenge. Ethan Royce, gone. Chloe, exposed. And my father, alive, waiting, smiling. I thought back to the night they laughed at me, the whispers, the smirks, the humiliation. Funny thing, I didn't hate them, I pitied them for underestimating a girl who knew her own power. And that's the thing about silence. It doesn't scream, it doesn't beg, it wins. As I turned away from the balcony, I whispered softly, "This is just the beginning." If Ariana's silence and strength gave you chills, imagine what your own power could do. Don't let anyone underestimate you. And never forget, patience is the ultimate weapon. Comment below, which betrayal hurt Ariana the most? Like, share, and hit that subscribe button for more SoulSpeak stories that touch your soul.